When we make a choice in the story engine, its impact on other story points is instantly calculated. Take a look at the screen right now and you'll see that all of these appreciations say they could be anything at all. But if we choose the main character problem as before, and we make it too much faith, then you'll notice that some of these have gone down to any of 16, any of 4, any of 11, any of 5. In fact, the solution has already been picked out completely. All this by the story engine calculating the impact of a main character who's driven by too much faith. And we can also note that originally we had 32,768 story forms available, and now there are only 512 different dramatic structures that remain that will work with a main character who's driven by faith. As we continue to make choices, the remaining options will become further limited. This is not because Dramatica is preventing us from doing anything, but because the collective impact of the choices we've already made has determined that some things are just no longer dramatically consistent. When you determine you want something in your story, you're also determining you want some other things out. To see this in action, let's go ahead and make the same choice we made last time, the critical flaw for our main character that constantly undermines him. It's his rationalization. And when we make that choice, we're down to only 40 story forms remaining instead of 512, and all of these other options have been limited down to any of 2 or any of 3, for example. As a side note, if we want to back out of a choice we've already made, we simply click on it and select Any. The choice is removed, and the number of options and the number of story forms opens up as far as it can, limited only by the choices that remain. For now, though, let's add back in that choice we made of a critical flaw of rationalization. As before, let's choose a story goal of obtaining. Now this time, something really interesting has happened. A lot of italic words have shown up. These are all dramatic choices made by the story engine that came from cross-referencing a problem of faith with a critical flaw of rationalization and a story goal of obtaining. With just that much information, because these are very telling questions, a lot of the other dramatic choices have already been made for us, and the number of story forms remaining is down to 8 different dramatic structures that would work with those 3 choices that we've selected. Now suppose we go ahead and finish off this story form. Again, we'll choose a driver of action, a limit of time lock, and a judgment of good.